I'm going to just say this for the record. Taking your child through a traumatic experience such as quote unquote transitioning is child abuse. It is the clinical definition of child abuse. If you are taking your child through a process and procedure that is going to harm them in such a way, you are inept and unqualified to be a parent. Now, either you may be narcissistic and you seek narcissistic supply through your child, or, well, you yourself are clinically insane, because ain't no damn way. Now, we're about to get into a video right now that is going to piss me off. I know that without a shadow of a doubt, just again, the nature of the video. But again, it's something that I've been looking to get more into because, frankly, if we don't bring these things up and we don't tell the truth about them, they continue to perpetuate. The reason we're here in the first place is because at first we saw it as a joke. And then eventually we're too afraid to say anything because we're afraid to get canceled. We're afraid to lose our jobs, opportunities, things of that nature, or maybe even have our kids stripped from us if we said these sorts of things. But we can't be a silent majority anymore. We can't afford it because now we have gotten to a place where it was almost a place of not return or no return, right? To where this warped perspective on reality has become the norm. It's become the mainstream culture. And so that being said, let's get into this video and I'm going to break it down as we go forward. But yeah, these ones are not easy, but they are necessary.
Dr. Olson had a decision.
You are in the perfect place to start on blockers.
And she promises to begin giving her estrogen, female hormones, in 2 years.
Around 13. That's what I think. Yes, you're not going to develop breast buds.
I'm already pissed off. This is a doctor. Remember the people we were supposed to trust with our lives? Remember that? Remember the individuals we were supposed to trust our children's health? Yeah, those people are now quite literally destroying actively and willfully. Yeah, they're telling our children that this mental illness, or oftentimes, and we've heard these situations more frequently than not, is some sort of violation took place with that child. And so now they have a deep discomfort with themselves. I mean, it's already normal for a kid to feel uncomfortable in their own body. But now we have kids who have been assaulted sexually, that instead of getting the help they need therapeutically, psychologically, they're having a greater trauma that they're now having to experience. This is disgusting. But
On the blockers. But you're not going to wait until 16 to start. You know that, okay?
Josie received...
Excuse me?
But that's what I think. Yes, you're not...
Oh, this is evil. This is evil. Let me break this down for y'all. Yes, it's going to be one of those videos where I stop it every 5 seconds because I'm pissed off. So, okay. The business model is this. We want to get you on medications as early as humanly possible in order to make you a lifelong patient, customer. We want to sell you these drugs for the rest of your life, if possible, so we can profit off of you for as long as possible. Did you see how she said, we'll start you at 13 in 2 years, but we're not going to start at 16. You shouldn't be starting at any time. It should be where 18 years old, you can't do most things, or at least a lot of things. 17 years old, you can do almost nothing, but you can choose to fundamentally change your biology. They want you as a patient. That's all it's about on their side. The ideologues, they want to use you as a prop in order to virtue signal. The profiteers, i.e. the medical system, etc., wants to use you as a cash cow. That's what the hell this is about, folks.
Blockers. But the blockers. But you're not going to wait until 16 to start. You know that. okay?
Josie received the blockers as an implant in her arm.
It's okay if you cry.
So with all the bravery she could muster,
It's okay if you cry.
So with all the bravery she could muster,
Now you're going to feel a little bit of a
Josie held on tight
stinging one.
Ow!
That part's
as another chapter opened in this young girl's life.
closing up the skin.
A lot of times it strikes me that had this happened just 20 years ago,
Thank you.
I wouldn't have been able to give her blockers, and she would have had to go.
That mother is a sociopathic demon from the pits of hell, and I hope she gets everything that is due to her in this life or the next. I do, and I don't feel any sort of way about it. Yeah, I can be vengeful too. I'm human. I gotta run the mother back one more time because, when I'm looking at a situation like this, the child is the victim. Simple as that. The people around her are the ones who failed her. But I want y'all just to, the mother is laughing.
A lot of times it strikes.
It's like, so why is it that these parents are seen as some sort of hero, but then the parents who neglect their children, abandon their children, don't feed their children, have these extremely messy, non-hygienic homes? Why are they seen as the villain, but these ones are seen as a hero? They're both the same. They are both the exact same creature. Only this one is a little more vile because it has to do with the actual biology of this child. And some parents say, well, they're actually doing what's best for the kid. A 6-year-old tells you that he is a Tyrannosaurus Rex, and you say, in order to be a good parent, I must chop your arms down to just the length of your hands, because that's the right thing to do. Yeah, y'all got a special place in Hades for y'all. Special place.
Me that had this happened just 20 years ago,
Thank you.
I wouldn't have been able to give her blockers, and she would have had to go through male puberty. That terrifies me.
It's all done. Do you want a hug?
I don't know that she would have survived male puberty.
I want you to look at that face. That's what evil looks like. A lot of folks think it's a pitchfork, horns, red scaly skin or something like that. No, this is evil right here. Fake sincerity. You've sacrificed your child. So that's a little boy, right? That's a little boy. Because they're blocking the hormone. They're blocking the process that would naturally take him through boyhood. So, oh my God, look at this. It's always in the eyes. There's a whole bunch of these cases in Hollywood, of course. Disproportionate number of kids who are taken through this the sick, twisted mentality of these adults, sick, twisted fantasy of these adults. And the reason it's disproportionate in Hollywood is because Hollywood, I believe, disproportionately has more narcissists than the rest of the broader society. Not saying broader society doesn't have its narcissists, but Hollywood has a monopoly, damn near, on narcissism, on these sociopathic, psychopathic sort of traits. That's what a parent is who will take their kid through this. That's what that's about. Like, if you're wondering, why would a parent? Because some are coerced through, oh, your child is going to take their own life if they're not able to get this gender affirming surgery, blah, blah, blah. That's used as a means of manipulation. Or we will take your child from you, like Elon. That's why that was the conversion of Elon, when they took his son from him and turned him into a pretend girl. There are cases like that, but most of the cases are parents who are looking to use their children as props. So you'll have a parent who has 2 kids who are Transformers. How is that possible in a demographic that was less than 1% not too long ago? How is that possible? Oh, we have 3 kids. Megan Fox, right? We have 3 kids. They're non-binary. Every single one of them. Oh, yeah, actually, all of them are Transformers. Okay. How is that possible? Well, I know why it's possible and how it's possible. It's possible because you guys are using them as narcissistic supply. And that's why I say they're evil and there's a special place for them in hell. That's why I say that. These parents are just as bad as the ones who neglect their children, who let their children starve, etc. And the crazy part about it is most people wouldn't disagree to a parent having their child stripped from them, child service protection, etc., taking these children from these so-called parents if the parent was neglectful, like some of these, TikTok parents or whatever it is, dirty houses, one room for like 7 kids, full of trash. You guys wouldn't have a problem with it, but as soon as this conversation comes up, you lose your damn minds because you've been so warped and conditioned. I wanted to speak to the parent aspect, but now I'm speaking to the greater society. How does 30, 40% of this country, maybe 20% more realistically, still stand behind this? They stand behind it because they have allowed themselves to be brainwashed, to be conditioned, to be programmed. They're agents of this agenda, this anti-human, anti-life agenda. The same agenda that says unalive your children, your babies, your infants, the most vulnerable, at unprecedented rates. Right? That same exact agenda, that same exact cultural push is the one that says, oh, by the way, take your children through the most traumatic experience for the benefit of your own narcissistic supply and somebody else's own pocketbook. This child is going to suffer because of this here and this here. Yeah, enough is enough. And I'm going to be vocal about it until I can't be anymore. Until I physically cannot be anymore. And hopefully even after that, people will repurpose this content forever until we eradicate this and push it all the way into I'm talking about the abyss of society where it's unseen and unheard of, where we are doing this to our children. Let us give them the help they need as opposed to creating situations that will have them needing help. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. Now, if you'd like to stay around, make sure to click that little subscribe button down there, or you can show some love by going to the description below and clicking on the button titled Buy Me a Coffee. Leave a little something there, or click on the Cash App. Leave a little something here. Till the next time, peace.
I fell in love with the sunshine. I fell in love with the light. I fell in love with the full moon. I fell in love with the night. I can see the light again. I can see the light. You can see the life in him illuminate the night. I know the time is taking. A 3, 6, 5, that's a full rotation. I see you looking up, you know them constellations. Constantly gazing like house of praises, you get to praising.